So like you said something there that really interested me in it because like when I started, when I bumped into you like on social media and I started following your journey, yeah, automatically
Yeah,
I literally thought, yeah, oh, Muslim sister. Automatically, I just thought, you got the religion from your mom and your dad.
yeah,
Imagine. So when you just said there, literally, it just literally got me. When you said there, like your mom even she stopped even speaking to you when when you started going through your transition.
yeah.
Like, so my question to you, like, where did you get, where did your love, and where did you start getting your connection in terms of like being a Muslim? Did you get that from your dad then, or yeah, where did the connection come
Yeah,
from?
so I come from a bit of a broken home, to be honest. So my
Mm.
dad left when I was young, but I would say
Oh,
he
okay,
was the Islamic one in the household when I was
okay.
younger.
Mm.
So when I was 10, for
Mm.
the period of a year, I went to Saturday school in London Central Mosque.
Yeah.
And there, obviously, me being 10, I learned like the basics of the
Basic.
alphabetic
Mm.
letters. What was Islam, as in,
Yeah.
we believe in one God, here's the
Mm-hmm.
messages, and Al Fatiha, the opening chapter of the Quran, and like a few of the basic
Yeah.
surahs. But did I ever learn the meaning
Mm.
behind them? You're just taught in Arabic.
Yeah.
This is how you should recite it, use it in your prayers.
Mm.
So I talk about it again in my poem, how I embrace the Deen and stuff,
Yeah.
like because the people need to understand not all Muslims that start practicing necessarily come from other faiths,
Mm.
but they do it through their research. So
Absolutely.
when my dad left, I feel like everything Islamic left the household because he was the one that was praying in the house. He was the one
Mm.
that, he said to me
Okay.
when I was younger, actually, I
Mm.
remember him saying to me, I've read the Bible, I've read the Quran, and I
Mm.
chose Islam. Because
Okay.
Cameroon is actually not a Muslim country,
Yeah.
like a lot of countries in Africa anyway.
Yeah.
But it is something that he chose as his way of life and he
Yeah.
chose to practice. So I would say I had experience of also going to church when I was younger, as well
Yeah.
as, going to the Saturday school in the mosque.
Yeah.
But after he left,
Yeah.
like, I just didn't bother doing anything Islamic.
Yeah.
And, I think it was probably like in my like teenage years, as you say, is when you start questioning, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Islamically believe that as a young child up until the age of 15 you don't sin anyway, like it's not on
Yeah.
you, like it's wiped because you're a minor and you're
Yeah.
learning,
Yeah.
and then from six, obviously, after that it's
Absolutely. Yeah.
upon you. We've got our two angels left and right and
Mm-hmm.
our good and bad. So for me at that age, I think it was actually seeing one of my friends in college. I was like reunited with people that, because I went to two high schools, I was reunited with people that I hadn't seen for a while, and I remember seeing one of my friends all of a sudden all covered up, and
Yeah.
she's Nigerian origin.
Okay.
And it was nice to see someone that's black and Muslim and actually looking the
Yeah.
part, and
Absolutely.
wanting to
Yeah,
understand what
man.
was your transition, what
Of
happened there,
course. Yeah.
right? And then I think I saw a lot more people
Mm.
that looked like me that were practicing. So
Okay.
there was a lot of like South people in my
Yeah.
college, and that's where you get a lot of the black Muslims living in London, I would
Yeah.
say. So this is where I started to see more people looking like me, and it intrigued me. I
Mm.
was like, these people look like me, but they genuinely practice. Let me find out their story and what's going on.
Absolutely.
And as I said to you, I used to have a lot of people say, "Oh, you're black, you can't be Muslim." So I
Yeah.
had the whole, "You should be Christian, you should this, Jesus loves you," all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Okay, cool, whatever." Like that to me, with Christianity, I'm not knocking it as a religion. I'm not
Mm.
denouncing anything. For
Yeah.
me, what wasn't sitting with me was the
Mm.
middleman
Yeah.
and the Trinity. I just couldn't get my head around
Mm.
it. And
Quite a few people have
like,
told me that as well,
I
by the way.
like the idea that if I need to speak to God, I go straight to
Straight
Him,
to.
and I call out onto God, and I don't
Mm.
call out onto
Yeah.
a human.
Mm.
So that was for me why I didn't get, I don't know, attached to it. I had been church, like I
Yeah.
said, because like my godmother's a preacher, and
Yeah.
sometimes I used to go.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was the religion I think that ended up sitting well with me. It was Islam.
Mm.
But when I started seeking knowledge, I remember my mum actually wasn't living with me either at the time. She had gone to the motherland to live with my dad because he
Yeah.
moved out there. He decided to work over there
Okay.
instead.
Yeah.
Even though he was doing great here, working here, but that was his
Yeah.
choice to
He's.
just kind of,
Yeah.
as a lot of African men, they want to get back and
Mm-hmm.
do things back home, right?
Mm. Absolutely.
So
I
that,
feel like I'm sorry to even cut you, sis.
no, it's
I
cool.
feel like moving for some anyway, not
Mm-hmm.
everybody. Like we said earlier, everybody's got their own journey,
Yeah,
And I feel like for some people, where all of us immigrate here, obviously, and I feel like for some people, they find the transition to going back home obviously a bit more smoother than others. Like
yeah,
like some people come into this country, they work, and they find that the system is a bit crazy, and they end
yeah.
up literally like I don't know, I don't want to say stuck, maybe stuck the how it is, or
Mm-hmm.
getting carried away here, and they end up being in this country for longer than they planned.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
it
yeah.
goes. And for some, and I love hearing stories like you said, where certain people they can actually get that freedom in terms of like being able to just go back whenever they want to, rather than being stuck in this country, working, and then going back for holiday. And you get what I'm trying to say. So
Yeah,
with
yeah.
hearing what your dad, with what you said, like your dad was doing good here anyway, but he chose going back.
Chose to
I
go
love, I
back,
love hearing that. I love
and
even
that
hearing that
was,
vice
yeah.
versa.
And
Yeah,
I guess that was where the brokenness in our family
yeah.
started, because obviously if you need your
The
parents
man,
to create
absolutely. When
the
the man
household.
leaves the house,
Yeah,
sorry sis, yeah. All I was
yeah,
gonna say, yeah. When the man leaves the house, yeah. A lot of the times you realize when you're young, you don't really realize, innit? Especially, but the older you get, yeah, you realize, like, you actually start to realize slowly. Sometimes things break down a bit quicker, but sometimes you
yeah.
realize slowly the foundation, because it's really important to have a man in the house, man. Honestly,
Yeah,
yeah,
ideally, like you need that father figure, you need the, the
absolutely.
mother as well to hold up the household. So it takes two. The minute
Yeah.
one parent goes, everyone knows about that single parent struggle, right?
Oh my god.
So I know the deal. And I guess with my mum, because she also kind of moved away and then she came back, she wasn't really there for me in my teens to see my transitions and stuff. So when I started telling her, oh yeah, I'm kind of looking into Islam, she probably thought, okay, like whatever. And then I said, oh, you know what, I've got to a stage where, I think I'm going to cover up and, I'm going to make that decision. I've set myself a date. She's like, nah, you ain't doing that. She was just like, like basically saying a lot of things that were negative. And I was like, I did not expect that, given our roots are Islamic anyway.
Yeah.
I thought I would just be like, you're doing good, you're leaving behind madness, and you're doing good. Like, are you not happy for me, whatnot?
Yeah.
But I didn't get that response, and it was quite shocking. And I went through a lot of trials. Like I moved out and stuff for a bit, and then eventually, obviously, right now, me and my mother are fine.
Yeah.
I don't live with her, but we
You find
see
your
each
feet.
other. We're fine,
And the relationship
and she
is that
accepts it.
is
And
in a healthy state.
this
and
is it, you know. So because Islam stresses the importance.
Absolutely.
Like, doesn't matter how bad you get treated through family, you have to maintain those times of kinship, unless they tell you to do bad and like to basically prevent you from worshipping Allah. Then that's when you can say to them, no, not even cut your ties. It's just that you have to say, no, I'm going to pray. No, I'm going to wear the hijab. No, I'm going to continue practicing my way of life. That's my decision. Like you put your foot down, and you're not getting sin for saying no to your parents because you are putting God before the person that created, like God created your mother and your father at the end of the day. So you always respect them, but you don't let them tell you that you can't do good things, put it that way.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, regardless of how much we love our parents, like they're only human, and the older we get, like you get to a point where it's like you need to start living your life for you. So it's like, regardless in whatever walks of life that you take, but I also stress this to certain people, that you need to get to a certain point where it's like you need to stop living your life based on your mum or your dad, because it's like,
of course,
it's your life. Everybody goes through, like, I always stress, their own journey, like I always say, you know what I mean?
100, yeah.
And even for you, like what like, because I keep on thinking to myself, sometimes there's distractions, isn't it? You get me? There's a lot of distractions, like we say, with social media. For you, like in terms of like leading by example,
yeah.
What did that mean to you, like in terms of like leading by example?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like the middle child anyway, so like in terms of family, my younger sister, I want to make sure that I could be a role model for her, and not only family as in blood family, like the younger generation. I've had lots of opportunities where I've like mentored, and I'm in leadership positions and stuff, so I'm always able to kind of be real. I'm someone who speaks truth, so I'm not someone who holds back, and I think people can see that from my poetry. I don't shy away from saying things how it is. And I feel like it's important to use your voice and challenge stereotypes.
I agree.
Because too many people want to put a label on me. She's black, she's female, she's Muslim, who is she? She can't do nothing, right? And that's why one of my projects I will release like early next year is going to be about the challenges of being in my skin as a female, as a Muslim, as black. Because there's too many labels and too many setbacks. We have to work extra hard to be able to be successful, and there's a lot of pushback. So for me, that inspiration is just being able to be real and get through life. Get through life. That is it. Like
I'm with you.
showing that you're capable and not letting people put you in boxes and let people tell you can't do this, you can't do that. The way I see it is you can do anything you put your mind to.
Absolutely.
And you keep going. And I want to empower and encourage the young girls, especially those that look like me, to keep going and do their things and show them it's possible. Because, you know, they see you, they're like, oh, you know what, you're doing this, you're doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, that means I can do it too. And
Yeah.
that's what I want the young people to do, to go away and just say, yes, I can do it, I'm capable. You know, manifest that positivity and go for it, you know.
Because I even feel like, even just to not make it about black people and just in general,
Oh,
I feel like, you know, sometimes even just again coming to these countries, in a sense,
yeah,
like everybody knows, to not be oblivious. Everybody knows that there's a lot of barriers, either in different industries as a
yeah,
black person in
yeah.
general. But I feel like, even though there's barriers, acknowledge it. There's these barriers, but exactly like what you just said as well. But still, keep pushing forward and don't let anything stop you ever. Keep persevering and keep pushing forward through, in order for you to get onto the other side. You get me?
Yeah, and there's issues within our communities too.
Oh
So
my God,
unfortunately, we don't
absolutely.
support each other. We don't want to see each other win. We start to believe this narrative that's been set to say that, you know, you're never gonna get there. Settle for this, and unfortunately, because we are, you know, we say, okay, you know what, I can only settle for this. I'll only stop here. I won't keep going. I'll stop here because that's the level they've kind of set me at.
Glass ceiling.
People just settle for the minimum, and I'm just
True.
like, keep going.
And
Why
the
are you
older we get, you
stopping?
see it even more in it. And especially,
Yeah.
like, you know, like, all of us are going to transition one day. And for me, what gets me as well, like, especially when you see, like, obviously, you know, Allah can come and take you any time when He's ready for you, you know, to return. But I feel like, you know, like, for me, what sometimes makes me upset is when you see, like, people like in their late, you know, even probably like in their early 30s, mid 30s, basically like getting on, but still
Yeah.
it's like mentally,
Yeah.
they're still like really, really stuck. And you know, like, unless they start now, they are going to be mentally programmed, and they're never, ever, ever going to ever wake up from this. You get what I'm trying to say? From this programmed mindset that they've got, that usually, that basically hasn't served them like wisely during their life, basically. You go into understand, and it's sad because it's like, you know, all of us as a human being, like, I believe you're born, you know, you're born to experience, you're born to basically like go through this beautiful, you know, this beautiful life, like to experience, to grow.
100.
Do you get what I'm trying to say, sis?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not gonna, sometimes it upsets me when I see grown people, different colours and whatever, just still like just stuck in this mindset of closed in, and it's like you're just looking at them thinking, not to be rude, but it's like you're just gonna waste away, man. It's
This
like
is
you
it.
never really got to go through life to experience, to grow, and to like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we've all
Yeah.
got a purpose. Like,
You know what I
literally, you
mean?
know, a lot
Yeah.
of people are there like living to work
Yeah,
instead
man.
of like working to live. This is like one of the biggest problems. Like, everyone is on the rat race. Like, I must, you know, catch up with this person. Forget competition. You know what? Sometimes you just got to push people aside and say, what do I want to achieve? What are my goals? The minute you start comparing yourself to him and her, that's it. You know, you're never gonna get to where you want to be, because you're like, oh, let me catch up with her. Well, let me catch up with him.
You're literally like that.
It's like, it's gonna mess you up as well. It's like,
Absolutely.
forget it. So that's why social media, you probably notice I'm not the most active on that. You know, I post from time to time, but there's many reasons.
You
I'm
got
not.
me as
Firstly, I'm
well.
not part of announcement culture.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's a need to tell everybody
Yeah.
what it is you do. I'm quite a private person to an extent, but I'm also very open. So it's
Same.
like,
Right,
there's some things people don't need to know. You know, some things can stay behind closed doors.
I totally
And
agree.
you know, sometimes it's just conversations between you and God. It really depends, but. You know, if there's a need to promote a community or a project or something, then you use social media and stuff. There's a lot of like evil eye and hate. And I've had like on Instagram, I've had like posts deleted and reported. I'm just like, what is there here on this platform that I'm really like excessive about talking, that's so bad that it really drives one's nut in? Like, I don't
That's
understand.
the evil eye, man.
It's the
Like
evil.
you said.
Yeah, literally.
That's why I don't know if you realize, even for me, I get quite a lot of people saying when they meet me, especially when they meet me and they say, you know, you got a presence. You know, if you was on, you know, if you banged out the social media every day, put the camera in your face every day, you would grow. Your following would grow. But I don't have it within myself, sis. I don't have that. That's why even you realize I just post sometimes, especially when I'm dropping the interviews. I do whatever I can and I keep it moving. Even in DMs, sometimes I go and mentally just makes me a better man. Especially the more now, obviously, the people approach, the more the list grows and you scroll through to get. It's like, yeah, so it's like I do whatever I do, and I literally, the evil eye and all of these energies on social media, I love it.
Yeah.
Sometimes get a little bit here and there, but in terms of presenting, in terms of putting myself on it, like often I can't do that, man.
Yeah.
And I know building a platform, a lot of people say to me, but Chef, you need to do that. That's why I can't wait to like build my little team, even though I'm in the process of like, you know, speaking to certain people, but at least they can, you know, like you've got certain people who like that, who or who are professions at that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yes, and even like going back, to Islamic, yeah, like Mecca, yeah,
Yeah.
like have you first and foremost, like for the people that are watching this conversation that might not understand the actual meaning and what going to Mecca actually means to us, yeah, as Muslim people, yeah, could you explain to them exactly what Mecca is and what the place means to us Muslims?
Yeah, I mean, people go there to do the pilgrimage. So
Mm.
Hajj is one of the five pillars of Islam,
Yeah,
the conditional one.
yeah,
Though I say everything's conditional
yeah,
technically, because
yeah,
like obviously you have to meet conditions
yeah,
to attain it.
yeah,
But yeah, it's not even a long one. It's done during the blessed days of Dhul Hijjah,
mm.
which are the 10 most blessed days of the year. And it's a time to switch off and get opportunity to get all your past sins forgiven, right?
Mm.
So a lot of people, they try to delay going there. They're like, oh, I'm going to keep sinning. But at the end of the day, when God gives you the opportunity, go for it.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to go to Umrah, which is the small Hajj, next year.
Okay, yeah.
But with all this,
Inshallah,
like,
inshallah, you go.
that's the
Yeah,
aim. But like, the intention's there. But the way they've made it hard
yeah,
now
mm.
with the vaccine and COVID, I don't know if it's definitely going to be possible.
Yeah,
Because they closed it up initially, then they reopened it and they're allowing pilgrims, but now they're saying only the vaccinated people can
yeah.
go. I
Okay.
still ain't been vaccinated. I must confess.
Same here. I don't believe everybody knows anyway. I've got
Yeah.
my own strong personal beliefs about the vaccination. Like
Yeah.
certain people, I've done my own research, but yeah, go on.
Yeah.
I haven't had mine as well.
I'm dodging it. I know that eventually they're gonna make life impossible if you don't get vaccinated, and I think it's a shame because we already know about the efficacies. It's not guaranteed,
It's crazy.
and people need to start thinking that just because you get vaccinated, you must stop social distancing, you must stop hygiene. All of these things need to be maintained regardless of whether or not you're vaccinated. So I'm a bit upset to read that with Saudi that they're not allowing people that haven't been vaccinated to go.
And for me, like the reason, again, like I said, I don't want to go into too much about the vaccination stuff, but I haven't taken as well for myself, and for me, like it hasn't really, like in terms of like my day-to-day routine, my job, it hasn't really affected me. But I'm gonna share a personal story with you. Like the first time I've actually, came across like someone that I was meant to do, I was meant to see, and basically affected me. So literally this week, like on Tuesday, I went to see my solicitor dealing with certain things.
Okay.
Soon as I walked in, I never had a mask because even during the pandemic, a lot of people knew me. I never wore these things unless I was in a cab or something. I walked in my solicitor. We had like a meeting. I walked in there. I think she got like a heart problem or something like that. But she literally, mind you, says she never warned me over the phone. Like it's all about communication. She'd have said to me, "Have you had the vaccination before you come in?" But she never said nothing to me on the phone. So I walked in like, she said, "You got your mask?" Wallahi, this Tuesday, literally, I got my phone to my sister literally when I left. She was like, "Oh," you got your mask? I said, no, I don't really believe in all of that. Not to be whatever, but I've got my own belief. She said, no, you need to have a mask. You need to have a mask. So she gave me a mask. So I thought everything was gonna be alright. I thought we were gonna sit down and just chop it up. She asked me, have you been vaccinated as well? I said, no, I don't believe in that. She said, no, I can't see you. No. Could you please leave, please? I've got a heart problem and I've got my booster in a few days. She said, I can't see you. And she said, I told you on the phone, but I said to her, you never told me on the phone.
Yeah.
So, but her reaction, literally her reaction, and even most importantly, that because we got some, I'm working on some important things and stuff like that, and obviously she's involved my solicitor, and it's like that was the first time I came close to somebody that if I call it business or whatever, where it's like it affected me. I can't really deal with you. You need to have a vaccine jab, and I thought, oh my god! I thought to myself, wow. So it's like
Mind control. It's happened, man.
Man. Have you been even for you? Have you been through certain situations where it's like?
Of course. Actually, I wouldn't say I got into a fight, but my god.
Could you obviously, as much as maybe as you want, could you share some situation that you've been through, and it's like how it's made you feel even in general, like?
Yeah, when was it? It was maybe about a month ago. I was coming back on a train with my brother, and I had like luggage, because we're coming back from a different city.
Yeah.
And I think like I had not even a proper mask.
Yeah.
It's like in the car even, like it was just dangling on my thing.
Yeah.
I sat down just chilling, and this lady's like, "Wear your mask." I was just like, that tone did not come my way. Did she actually just say that to me?
Just like
that? She's like, excuse me, wear your mask.
Yeah.
I said, woman, do not raise your voice at me. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Firstly, you don't know if I'm vulnerable. This is not a proper mask. Firstly, this is actually what you call a niqab. Yeah, it covers me, but it's just dangling there, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, but you gotta wear your mask. It's one of the rules. I'm like, again, this tone, you know,
Yeah,
I'm
just
definitely not going to wear it just
yeah.
because of the way you're talking, you know,
Absolutely,
just because of the way you're talking.
yeah.
She's like, my husband almost died from COVID. I'm sorry to hear that, but why are you on public transport? I said to her, sorry, go in a cab. If you really feel that, you know, you can't be around these
Yeah,
people,
invest in your health
why
and
would
take a
you
cab.
be in public transport?
Yeah.
You know, and then she kept going on and on and on. And I
Yeah.
was like, hey, she really wants to trigger me.
Yeah.
I'm a calm person. I don't like violence and
Yeah.
stuff. But when someone
Of
gets me
course,
off,
man.
I'm not
Of
afraid to
course.
speak out.
Yeah, of
So
course,
she
man.
was really starting to do my nutting. And eventually she was like, I'm sorry. I said, okay, cool. Stop talking. Leave me. I looked away because it's like, if I keep getting eye contact with someone that has, you know, made me irritable,
Of course.
you know, it will trigger me. And then she kept on trying to start a conversation with me and going on and on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the way I spoke to you. Forgive me, forgive me. I said, nothing to forgive. Like, please stop talking. I was thinking, and just stay there on your side in your corner.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that your husband had to go through COVID.
But it's just how you should talk to people in general. If she if she communicated with you with like just how a normal person should speak and communicate with you, come on,
I appreciate it. Like, literally, my mother is vulnerable. She had to take. They recommended that she take the vaccine quite early on, and she had side effects.
Yeah.
You know, so I know a lot of people that have had COVID that have been vaccinated already.
Yeah.
And then it's been like a side effect of it as well.
Yeah.
You know, and personally, I go out quite a lot. You know, I do work from home most of the time when I'm doing my like day-to-day job, but sometimes I go offices, I go to events for performances, I see people, you know, and it is what it is. But somehow, thank God, I haven't caught it yet.
Same here as well.
You know, I done one of those antibody tests. It's like I got contacted by Birkbeck Uni. They were doing some research.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to inject or anything. They just took like a blood prick.
Oh, okay.
And they said, put your blood here, put some liquid inside, and that tells you whether or not you've ever had COVID. Okay. And it came back negative. Okay. And says you never had COVID.
Yeah.
So all these little coughs, colds, whatever, it just means it was just, I've had flus before, but doesn't mean I'm running to take a flu jab.
Same here. You know what I mean?
You recover naturally through rest. You know, half the time we get ill is because of the germs and, you know, people are not being clean.
Sis, look at the season we're in. Look at the season we're in. That's why that's why I knew when this pandemic first started. I was speaking to so many of my people and I said to them, listen, especially last winter, I said to them, listen, especially when they started describing the symptoms, I started saying to my people, watch when it gets to winter, automatically the government or whoever to not say too much, they're going to up the cases automatically, and only because it's winter. And let me tell you, if you put the vaccine, if you put all of the distractions aside, what usually happens in winter? Don't we usually get these coughs anyway because of the season anyway? Don't people get ill anyway in winter? So it's like they're going to use that even a bit more often, saying people are getting even more ill. But realistically, these things happen because of the season that we're in. Yeah, you go what I mean, sis. And even let's talk about your book.
Which one? Okay, the Daily Collection, 20-something.
Let's talk about the 20-something first.
Yeah.
Tell us all about your book.
How you know
what? First of all, what influenced you to even like to start to think about writing the book? What influenced you?
So for me, I started poetry young, right? In primary school, I got published at 9, 10, 11 through just doing competitions, right? And it was never like a part of my life. It was just literally a bit of fun. And then in high school, started getting spoken, you know how it is, and you start doing MC battles in the playground.
You got to wear words.
I just loved rhyming. So that name SamiRhymes actually came quite young.
Love that name, by the way.
Love the name. It's like a cross between Samira, the name, and SamiRhymes, what I love to do. So it's like it works well.
I literally thought your name was Samira, you know, when I first found you, and then I needed to keep on reading the name, and I got used to breaking it down. SamiRhymes,
This is it. So I just broke it up. So that's people are like,
Samira.
Is it Samira Rhymes?
Oh my God, I need you for Samira.
Is it Samir? Hymes? I'm like, Samir's a guy's name. Everyone was just getting confused, and then they're like, oh, I get it, because I had to break it up later on and put Sammy as one word and rhymes after. So I used to always just do it with one word and rhymes as a capital R. Then I was like, when you do author name, when I got published, you have to have like a first name and a surname. And I decided to go with my pen name rather than my government name. Yeah. And for me, because I had like stopped poetry for a while, I always wrote for me. Yeah. but then I said to myself, what have I got to show for it? Let me actually get a debut collection out.
Yeah.
So it was only like summer 2019 that I decided to hit this, like, and start picking up poetry again. Like, 2019 was a year of transition for me in general, because I had a lot going on. Like, I set up my business, I started transitioning in life.
Yeah.
And I said, what do I miss that I want to do? Like, my mentor at the time was like, what do you miss? I was like, you know what? I miss the bars. I miss actually performing. I miss the stage. I used to do a lot of acting as well when I was younger, like lots of lead roles in school plays and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then I said, I'm going to start performing. I threw myself in a deep end. I did a poetry slam.
Yeah.
What's it called? Word for Word, organised by Cat Francois, which is like a very well-known poet in the UK. She's like a former UK slam champion as well.
Okay.
And then I won, and I got a lot of good feedback. It was a mad one. It was like 3 rounds. We had a 2-minute poem, one on a night where the audience will pick a topic.
Yeah.
The topic was nostalgia.
Yeah.
And then another 2-minute poem. So we did those 3 rounds.
Congratulations with winning that, winning that.
It was pressure. And I said, I have to challenge myself. I have to see if it's good for me.
Man.
Then I started getting, a couple of features here and there across London. And then some events stopped. So I'll get invited to events, you got a feature, and then it will get cancelled all of a sudden. And then I started doing a couple of events on the London scene. And then, it just led to...
And things picked up.
Yeah.
And one thing led to another.
Absolutely. And I had the opportunity to perform in Malaysia before the pandemic, which was great.
Oh, that's amazing.
And, you know, like, even this month coming up, November, I'll have opportunities to perform in Manchester. I'll be doing lots more in London. I don't post everything I do, actually, to be honest. But I need to get better at letting people know what I'm up to sometimes, especially when it's concerning poetry.
Yeah.
But, so with the book, I said to myself, I'm in my 20s. I'm coming to the end of the era. I know girls don't talk about the age, but I was like, it makes sense. Let me talk about the decade, because I've got a thing of numbers and time.
Okay.
So
I get it.
So I released it as I was coming to the end of the era, and I said, all right, this is about the good and bad times within that. So I decided to have different themes, from introduction to me, because it's, my first debut collection, mental health, finding faith, what is there in there, challenging stereotypes and identity. I think I had, I'm trying to remember them on the top of my head. Responsibility,
you're doing good so far,
and so forth, right? So for me it was a book not aimed at people that necessarily look like me, but for everybody. You don't have to be 20 something. Everyone will experience this decade, come up to it, or will reflect back on it. So there are a lot of key titles around that 20 something period, from being forever 21 to
now I understand it even more. Like when I was going through it, and you was when you gave me the links to go and Amazon and everything, I was thinking the title, because when I used to make music as well, like the names of my songs, I used to always pay attention to like to certain titles. So when I said 20 something, like that's quite cool. But now you proper explaining it to me like properly, it makes even more sense. It's even, when a title suits the book even more, when somebody actually explains to you why they named it. So where could people go get it? And where could people go get it?
It's on Amazon, available across all the markets. I've had people from like Japan, America, Australia, all sorts buy it. Initially, I just did the hard copy, but then I released the audiobook earlier this year upon request. It was such a pain getting it out the door, but it's there now for people who prefer audio. And there's a lot of pieces that have never hit the stage. I think I've only probably performed about a handful from here.
Okay.
So...
Why is that? Do you have a specific reason why?
Do you know what? At the end of the day, a book is a book. So if people want to go away and support the thing, let them go and do it.
I'm with you.
There's a fee associated with it. But not only that, I think there are pieces in there that I'm not ready to share out on stage necessarily. So I
understand even more.
I was ready to release it and write it, but not necessarily ready to perform it, because some pieces can be triggering. And from the feedback I've had from people as well, I always say, if you can write a review, people always forget though. But like, let me know what pieces you liked and resonated. And I think like a lot of people talk about the mental health awareness section,
a lot.
The identity and challenging stereotypes, and also challenging relationships. So they get moved by some pieces, and I'm just like, okay, it makes sense, and it's always interesting. Because everyone will always read it from a different angle,
different perspective.
And I just say to people, I guarantee you, at at least one of these pieces
Yeah.
will resonate with you.
Yeah.
And because it was 20 something, I put 28 pieces in the 7 sections, 444, and gave a bit of context in each one. So
amazing. So guys, if you wanna purchase the book and read through it, absolutely, you're like like Sammy said, you're definitely going to have at least a section in there for you that resonates with you.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then earlier this year,
Mm-hmm.
took part of an anthology as well, which is called "It Will Be the Black Experience."
Okay.
And I think it's a really good one. It's designed for non-blacks to understand what it's like to be as a black person growing up in the UK.
Yeah.
So I was given black mental health as my category. So I've got 4 pieces in there on black mental health.
Congratulations on that one as well,
Yeah.
because I wasn't really aware about that
It's
one.
not
I'm just
my
aware
own.
of it.
It's an anthology. So 6 poets in the UK
But you're in there
are
though.
in this one.
Some of your work is in there as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, pieces that I haven't hit the stage, all exclusive. One which I think I will be doing a video for actually pretty soon, and it will probably be in my EP as well.
Okay.
So
You're looking forward to that?
Yeah, a lot of people are waiting on it because.
So, what's that? Where could people go to buy that one as well?
It's the links are also in my bio, but it's on Amazon and it's on 4D House, the publisher's website too. Black-owned business. So if you want to support that.
Okay. So guys, if you're on Instagram, obviously, like below in the description, there's going to be, SamiRhymes Instagram account. If you go there and go to her Instagram, the link to these books are on her bio. And obviously, if you got any questions, any questions or anything at all, you can send her a direct message.
100%. There's more. There's other stuff as well. Obviously, the audio is up there.
Yeah.
And I want to get my debut EP out the door.
Yeah.
I've already got the title and the date in mind.
Yeah.
It's going to be called Triple Threat, and it's essentially the challenges of being black, female, and Muslim.
Love that.
Naturally, a lot of my poems already kind of cover that because I'm living it. And my poetry is all about truths. It's either something I've gone through or someone around me's gone through, and that's where I get my inspiration from life. I
love it. It's reality, isn't
this
it?
is it. It's reality TV.
Yeah, literally.